Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Runa. Happy Foundation Friday. I know I haven't uploaded Foundation Friday in a couple of weeks. Lots been going on, as you can tell, as you can see, around the world. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload Foundation Fridays anymore because it's been very difficult to get foundations in the mail and test them out and try them out. And I used to go to Sephora and pick up samples as well. That's been very difficult to do as well. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta create lemonade out of lemons. Is that the saying? I don't know, you guys. I'm really bad at memorizing any type of like really catchy sayings. I'm not really good at it, and sometimes I don't make any sense. I don't pronounce stuff good at all, and I think it's because I speak Bengali and English all in the same day, and I'm constantly switching through two languages. I don't know if anyone else has this problem where you just have a hard time being grammatically correct in one language, especially in English. I'm always having a hard time to be grammatically correct because I speak Bengali and English all in like one day, like back to back. So I forget English sometimes. Not even forgetting, I just mix it up. You know, my brain mixes up. I don't know if that happens to anyone else. Anyways, you guys, as you can tell by the title today, we are going to share some foundations that typically I always just try on a foundation. I wear it for 10-12 hours. And then I tell you guys yes or no, first impressions, is it bomb or not? And then I keep the foundation and I test it out for a little bit longer. There are some times where I do return foundations where I'm just like, you know what? I'm really not going to test this out anymore. I'm really not going to use this anymore. So I'm going to get rid of this foundation. But majority of the time, I want to explore the foundation more. So I want to talk about foundations that I've been exploring that I feel like are a ultimate amazing buy, especially with right now it's the VIB Sephora going on and you're gonna get a discount on foundation. So if you want to try anything new, this is the time to try something new. So the first item I want to talk about, you guys, is this Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r. This is their hydrating longwear foundation. It is very popular. Fenty Beauty is super popular. Everyone seems to love it. I never hear something negative. Every once in a while there's like a very random negative person that says they don't like Fenty, and then everyone looks at them like, how can you not like Fenty? And they just make it so personal. I love Fenty products. There are some really good ones. I love their concealer. I love their highlighters. I love their gloss bomb. Their gloss bomb is probably the best gloss I've ever used. It's really good and it's really pretty and it looks very sultry on the lips. But this hydrating foundation is not the business. When I first tried it, I did like it because it was hydrating. And the more I'm using it, as you can see, I'm almost like, I've used it a lot. The more I use it, the more I don't like it. It's hydrating, but it's super oily. Over time, I just get really oily. It's not necessarily like natural glam sheen type of thing. It's more like cakey, oily, clogging my pores type of thing. That's what's happening to me. I've tried it with different primers. I've tried it with no moisturizer. I've tried it with lighter products. I've repeatedly tried it. I've tried setting it. It looks worse when you put setting powder on top of it. It just does not look good. I even think it does tend to oxidize. So the more I use this, the more I didn't like it. And it really makes me sad because I think I sometimes force myself to like things because everyone's like, it's so good, it's so good. And I'm like, come on, it's supposed to be good. Why are you failing me? But it does fail me. It did fail me. Failed me. We're just gonna act like I never bought this and fell for the hype. Next foundation is the Decay Naked Urban Decay foundation. This is actually a new one and I feel like it's not that popular. I think people are over Urban Decay. Sorry, Urban Decay, I still really love you. I think Urban Decay and I think every brand goes through a phase of being boring. I think Urban Decay had a moment of excitement with the cherry eyeshadow launch, but then the cherry eyeshadow, you know, naked cherry eyeshadow launch, it was so exciting and bomb and everything was just amazing. It was a very exciting launch, except for the eyeshadow palette wasn't as pigmented as a lot of people expected it to be, but it was still a pretty collection and it was the best event ever because Snoop Dogg was there and he was smoking weed and it was popping. This Weightless liquid foundation, it came out and they sent it to me and I was like, okay, this is good. It's a good foundation. It's kind of basic. It's like whatever, okay. But then I started using it more often and testing it out and the packaging is so pretty. It's just like such a unique, pretty package. And then I see Hindash use it. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Hindash. Hindosh started using it, and then when he started using it, I felt like I needed to use it. So comment below if you have that problem sometimes. When you see someone else use something, you're like, oh, I need to use that too. TikTok does that to me a lot. TikTok does that. So anyways, yeah, so this is very lightweight. It says that it's up to a 24-hour wear. I think this will wear really well for 8 hours, even a 12-hour like time frame. It wears really well. I don't find myself having to repeatedly touch this up, which is a plus. I like that it doesn't crease into any of my, you know, my lines, my fine lines, my great lines. It doesn't crease into any of my lines. It's also really nice and hydrating, and it's crazy because it dries really matte. So when it's gonna dry matte, you're gonna feel a little bit of like a tense feeling, but just put on some setting spray and it goes away, and then you have a really pretty glowy matte finish. I actually have this on today, so that's why I'm like talking about my face. And you just have this like really pretty glowy matte finish. I actually like the coloring too. The coloring is really nice. It's glowy, pretty. It matches me to the T, and it's just really nice. Like, I didn't think I was going to like this as much, and I didn't think I was gonna pull it out as much, but I find myself grabbing this more right now. But I will say though, it does make you look ashy in your chin area. At least for me, I have some pigmentation in my chin area, and I need to use like orange concealer or a red concealer before I put this on. I would prefer it like that, but you don't have to, but that's for me. Maybe you don't even notice that my chin area is ashy, but maybe you do notice now because I said so. It's so funny, yesterday I had on this foundation yesterday, and it felt like I literally had nothing on. So when I was going to bed, and I've been a little stressed, I mean, who hasn't been stressed right now? And I was going to sleep, and I had makeup on my face, and Nayar, my husband, if a lot of you guys don't know, Nayar is my husband. He lives here, like he's, you know, he lives in this household. It's been tough, you guys. Quarantine with your man is real tough. So he was like, aren't you gonna wash your face? I was like, why? I don't have makeup on. I forgot I had makeup on. I had this on yesterday, and I totally forgot I had makeup on. And I was like so annoyed with him for him telling me to wipe my face and wash my face. I got annoyed. Like, who are you to tell me that? You're not my dad. You ain't my real dad. You ain't my daddy. And then, you know, Nair had a lot of comments about my dad, but that was like the argument, like, who are you to tell me to wash my face? But that's what I mean. This is such a lightweight foundation. Literally forgot I even had it on. Okay guys, next is this Born This Way foundation. This is a holy grail. This is a foundation that I love. It's medium coverage. It goes on like skin. It goes on very natural. If you're someone that's not into the really full coverage look, this is the foundation for you. I have the shade Praline. I'm also an NC42. It's also medium coverage. I know I already said that, and it's not only a medium coverage, it's a buildable coverage. So I've worn this often. You can literally put on one layer, and then you can go on with like 6 layers, and it'll still look like skin. That's pretty much what type of foundation this is. It's very lightweight. It's a year-round foundation. I feel like it's for all skin types as well, specifically for dry skin. Because I have dry skin, I tend to like to wear this on in the summer or even winter. I tend to wear this more during the winter, especially because it's a lot more hydrating than all the other foundations, and I feel like I need less foundation during the winter. During the summer, I would prefer to go with no foundation, but you can also wear this during the summer and just put on lighter layers of it. But it's a very multi-use foundation, and I really, really like this stuff. It's so good. Also guys, this foundation is $39, and it's pretty bomb. Pretty bomb. It's pretty good. The Born This Way foundation also comes in a lot of colors, multiple colors. You will definitely find yourself in their collection. Okay guys, so let's talk about this CC foundation from It Cosmetics. It is the top selling foundation for everyone. It has SPF 50 in it, and it's supposed to be super, super amazing. I have gone through, literally back in the days, I was a super huge fan of this foundation because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what my skin was supposed to look like. I didn't know what good makeup was supposed to look like. I didn't know any better. So I feel like there's a lot of people that use this foundation that doesn't know any better. That just doesn't know any better. They are cool because they came out with a lot more shades, because before they used to only have 4 shades. It Cosmetics has heard and listened to all the criticism they got for not creating a broader line of colors, especially being one of the most best-selling foundations in Ulta and in Sephora. They are huge. They are a billion-dollar company. You have no excuses. So they came out with more shades. Good for them. It's $39.50. It has a pump, which makes them amazing. Oh, speaking of, it looks very similar. This and It Cosmetics packaging looks very similar. It says it's your skin but better. I'm not sure if this is full coverage foundation or if it is a cream foundation. I have no idea, but they say it's a full cream foundation. I don't know what that means. Maybe full coverage. But they really cater to the 50 SPF. That's what got me. I love to wear sunscreen. I need to wear sunscreen. It's good for your skin. But this stuff does not look good on my skin. It makes my pores look really crazy. It makes me look super, super oily. And it's because of the hyaluronic acid. I don't really like when there's a heavy amount of hyaluronic acid in foundation. There's some foundations that have it. I think all foundations have some form of it, but some less than others. And when a foundation tends to seep into my pores, I have small pores, you guys, and it seeps into my pores and you're able to see an emphasis on my pores, that means there's a lot of hyaluronic acid in it, and I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. It makes me look puffy. It makes me look crazy. So in point, it is a best-selling foundation, but it was not for me, and I think it's really a lot of hype. It's not really real. It's not really cool. Okay guys, the next foundation that is a top seller in Sephora is this NARS Longwear Radiant. This is $49 and this is in the shade Syracuse, and this is from NARS. NARS is an amazing brand. I love them. They're like an elevated version of MAC, but like they're not MAC, but they're just an elevated version of MAC. That's how I describe them for myself. You may describe them differently, or maybe you don't want to compare them and you're like, bitch, don't compare them. But that's what I'm saying. So I love this foundation from NARS. A lot of people, when I first reviewed this, hated it. They were like, that foundation sucks. And I understand you, because if you don't use it properly, or if you go in with 10 pumps, or if you go in with too little, it's not going to be the greatest foundation. I have found that the combination of this foundation and a beauty blender is the best way to apply this foundation. If you try to apply this with a brush, it's going to look a little too thick. You just need one pump and you need to actually just go all over and nicely apply it to your face. It will look glowy. It will dry down very, very nice. It's a beautiful natural matte finish with your pores just looking snatched and amazing. The coloring, I will say this is the best color on my skin. This looks the prettiest on me. When I take selfies, my selfies look very flawless. I look like I've been basking in the sun for hours. I look like I'm a freaking supermodel. That's why I love this foundation, and it has never failed me. It's actually almost done. It's because I shaked it, you can't tell, but if I let it settle for a while, you'll see I only have like that much left, and I love this foundation. I come back to it. It's turning into my everyday, my holy grail foundation. And I really, really like this. So I would say that although it's a bestseller, it's because certain people just really know how to use it and it really works for them. And I think the best thing about this foundation is the coloring. It doesn't oxidize. It doesn't look too orange. It's not too neutral and yellow. It's not too gray. It's the perfect brown girl foundation shade. Another one that everyone loves, you guys, and it's literally a #1 seller on Sephora, is Fenty Beauty. I mean, I'm not hating on Fenty Beauty. Like I said, I love things from Fenty Beauty. This is their Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. It's supposed to be matte. It's a full coverage. It's liquid. It's for normal, combination, and oily skin. Notice how they don't say it's for dry skin, and they are not lying. Pro Filt'r is literally not for dry skin. The Pro Filt'r Soft Matte, it's not for dry skin. I bought it. It was great. The foundation was great. The coloring was great. The feel was great. Everything was great. An hour in, it wasn't really working out for me because it was a little too dry for me. But they didn't lie to me because it literally said normal, combination, and oily. Why did I buy it? Well, you guys wanted me to test it out, so I tested it out for you guys. And second, I also bought it because I wanted to be included. I wanted to feel like I belonged. I belonged in the Fenty Beauty crowd. I belonged. But I still don't feel like I belong because this Pro Filt'r foundation does not work for me. My skin is too dry for it to work on me. So if you have dry skin, you should really skip this foundation. If you have oily skin, you should really buy this foundation because it is amazing. Even if you have combination skin, this foundation is really, really good. I found when I take the Pro Filt'r foundation and I mix it with, say, a moisturizer or something like that, then it comes out really, really nice still, but then it gets gunky midday. And so that was a problem for me. So I did return this foundation because your girl cannot be spending money and not, you know, stuff just doesn't work on me. So literally didn't work for me. I justified the return by saying it's not even catered to dry skin. But you guys, what's really impressive about this range is that they have 50 shade ranges. And they still have 50 shade ranges. You know how some brands, they're like, yeah, we'll come out with 40 ranges, we'll come out with 60 because it's trendy right now. So they do that, and then now if you go back on some of these foundations, they no longer provide 40 and they no longer provide 50. They're now at their 30-20 mark, but Fenty stays true to themselves and they are 50 shades and they remain 50 shades. So that's a plus. On Sephora, this has a rating of 4.1, so it's pretty impressive. And a lot of people are saying it's a perfect match. There's one person that said it's not for me. She has dry skin and she says it's like a light BB cream. Yeah, so I will skip on the Fenty. Okay guys, the next foundation that everyone tends to talk about is this Hourglass foundation. It's also a bestseller on Sephora. I thought it would be smart to do a video like this since Sephora is having a VIP sale and they're, you know, everyone needs a discount right now. We all need discounts right now. So Hourglass, this is a stick foundation. I was convinced to get this. I don't know who showed it. I want to say maybe Kathleen Lights or maybe Jacqueline Hill. They were obsessed with this and then I was obsessed with it. They're obsessed, I'm obsessed. I need it. So I bought it. I really, really love this. This is the best stick foundation I've tried on the market, and I've tried so many. If you go into my foundation playlist, you will see how many foundations I've actually tried. I've actually tried a lot and a lot of foundation sticks, and still till this day, this is the best one. It's super good for dry skin. If you have dry skin and if you have severely dry skin, this is really good. I think this is also really good for oily skin. My sister-in-law has oily skin and this looks really good on her. Every time she wears it, I'm like, oh, what foundation do you have on you? It looks so pretty on you. She also has the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation, and that one doesn't look that good on her. And she has oily skin and acne prone skin, so hello. And it's also a full coverage foundation. It's really easy to put on. You could blend this out with the beauty blender or you could blend it out with the brush. I love blending this out with the brush. It's amazing when you blend it out with the brush. If you are someone who has really troubled skin or you feel like no foundation has ever worked for you in your life, try this one out. This may really work for you, especially if you have hyperpigmentation. This is full coverage enough, but it's not gonna look cakey and you can actually cover your spots or anything that you have. This is really good. I say really try this. The only negative is they did come out with a liquid formula. That one's not that good. I did not like that one. Stick to the stick one. This is amazing. It's just not a lot of product. There's not a lot of product in there, but it does go a long way, and I'm totally here for this foundation and you should totally get it. It is expensive. I think this foundation stick goes for $46. That is beyond my $30 acceptable rate for foundations. I always want foundations to be in the $30 range, but this is all the way up into $46, high $46 towards $50. So this is really expensive and high end, but it's totally worth your money. Okay guys, so the last foundation I want to talk about is the Double Wear Estee Lauder foundation. This is still one of my favorite foundations. I'm still obsessed with this. It's an Allure Best winner. It's amazing. They have amazing color range. There's tons of color range. Estee Lauder has always had tons of color range, and I feel like they haven't gotten credit for that. They never get credit for having tons of color range, but they do. And this is like a foundation I remember watching my mom use. I remember watching all the grown-ups in my life use this, and I always thought this was an old person foundation, but I was very, very wrong. Or maybe I'm becoming an old person, I don't know. But this is really good for your skin. It is super full coverage, so a little goes a long way. I don't recommend this for every day. I do recommend it for special day occasions, or even just when you want to take some good selfies or you feel like playing with some makeup and taking some pretty selfies. If you're on camera a lot, I think this is a great foundation. There's no flashback to it. And I also think this is the shade Honey Bronze. I also think this color matches me really well. It does have a little bit more of a brightening effect to it, but it does look really good over the day. It does warm up a little bit. It doesn't oxidize, just warms up a little bit, blends into your skin a little bit, and it looks really, really nice. It snatches your pores. It does not emphasize your dry patches if you have dry skin. If you have oily skin, it does not emphasize your oily skin at all either. They cater this foundation as a 24-hour way. I will say it lasts all day. It does last. I've had this on for over 12 hours and it lasts all day. It didn't budge. I didn't have to touch up my makeup at all. It didn't get cakey. It didn't get oily. It just, even though it's also catered to dry skin, it's a little too matte for me, so I don't always gravitate towards it. And it's a little heavy, so I don't always gravitate towards it. But it is a foundation that I really, really love, and it does look really, really good. And I'm definitely going to wear this during the summer. If you are looking for a summer foundation, because I know sometimes our skin changes during the summer, I think you should pick this up because it's matte. It'll be great in humidity. It'll be great in humidity. If you guys live in humid areas, it'll be great in humidity. And it's just bombacious. It's going to be good for the summer. I'm going to try to wear this all summer and see how I like it. Is it gonna perform the way I want it to perform? Okay, so that's it for Foundation Friday. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys are able to shop some of these foundations or put it on your wish list for the next Sephora VIB sale. I think the next one's gonna be in November, Christmas time. That's when they do another one. It'll be a great time to stock up on some foundation that you want to try. If you guys have any foundations that are your favorites, don't forget to comment down below and let me know. I'm always in the comments responding to you guys and talking to you guys. I love when you guys leave comments. I love when you guys like these videos because it just motivates me to create more content for you guys. Comment down below what's your favorite foundation. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you so much and thank you for always supporting me. Bye!